Imagine a world where your car never needs charging, where your home runs without an electric bill, and where the very idea of limited energy becomes a relic of the past. Sounds impossible, right? Well, what if I told you that a team of scientists has just confirmed something that could make this dream a reality? Maxwell's free energy, once dismissed as science fiction, is suddenly making headlines again. So, what exactly was discovered? And what happens next? Stay tuned, because this could be the single most important breakthrough in modern history. Back in the 19th century, Scottish physicist James Clerk Maxwell revolutionized science with his famous equations that unified electricity and magnetism. But hidden within his work, some researchers claim, were clues pointing to a radical idea: the possibility of unlimited energy drawn directly from the fabric of space itself. For decades, this so-called free energy remained in the shadows, criticized, ignored, and labeled as pseudoscience. Yet, the concept never truly disappeared. Inventors like Nikola Tesla hinted at similar possibilities, suggesting that the universe itself was teeming with untapped power. Fast forward to today. A group of independent researchers have announced experimental results they claim validate Maxwell's free energy principles. Using advanced electromagnetic setups, they reportedly extracted measurable, consistent energy without traditional fuel sources. If these findings hold true, it means humanity may have just unlocked a new energy paradigm, one that doesn't rely on oil, coal, or even conventional renewables like solar or wind. And that's where things get truly fascinating and a little unsettling. Entire power grids could become obsolete. Energy corporations worth trillions could collapse overnight. Geopolitical power, built for centuries around oil and gas, would be shaken to its core. Imagine African villages with instant electricity, global cities running without pollution, and every device powered without limits. But also imagine the chaos when industries, governments, and elites realize that control over energy is slipping away. This isn't just a scientific question. It's a civilizational shockwave. Right now, the big question is, will this discovery be embraced or buried? History shows us that disruptive technologies often face resistance. Oil magnates, utility giants, and even political leaders may have every reason to suppress such a breakthrough. Yet, the internet age makes it harder than ever to silence ideas. If Maxwell's free energy is truly confirmed, it could spark the biggest technological revolution since the invention of electricity itself. The only uncertainty? How fast the world is ready to change. So here's the real challenge. Are we on the brink of an energy utopia, or standing at the edge of another suppressed discovery that the world isn't ready for? One thing is clear. If Maxwell's free energy is real, the future will never look the same again. If history has taught us anything, it's this: every time humanity stands at the edge of a new energy era, conflict and opportunity arrive together. Think back to coal replacing wood or oil replacing coal. Entire industries fought tooth and nail to protect their profits. Wars were waged, empires rose and fell, all because of energy. Now imagine something far bigger. An energy source that doesn't require drilling, mining, or refining. An energy source that no single company or government can truly own. This is why Maxwell's confirmation is more than just a scientific breakthrough. It's a direct challenge to the very foundations of the global economy. Behind the scenes, whispers are spreading that governments and private labs have already been experimenting with these ideas for years. Some insiders claim that military organizations view free energy as the ultimate strategic weapon. Think about it: an army that never needs supply chains for fuel, a navy that sails forever, a space program with unlimited propulsion. The stakes here are not just about lighting homes, they're about reshaping power itself. So, while the public debates whether free energy is even possible, the real race may already be happening in secret labs across the world. But don't be fooled. This path is not simple. Critics argue that extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. And while early experiments are promising, mainstream science still demands rigorous, peer-reviewed validation. Add to that the intense political resistance. Imagine the oil industry, worth trillions of dollars, watching this unfold. Would they stand by quietly, or would they lobby, suppress, and distract, just as they've done whenever renewable energy threatened profits? The truth is, Free energy faces a battle not just in laboratories, but in boardrooms and parliaments. Now, picture what this breakthrough means for ordinary people. Cars that drive forever without charging. Homes that generate their own endless supply of power. Entire cities where lights, transport, and industries run without pollution. For billions living in energy poverty, this wouldn't just be a convenience. It would be liberation. No more blackouts. No more dependence on expensive fuels. No more choosing between heating a home and feeding a family. It would mark the end of the energy bill as we know it. But while some would celebrate, others would see only disaster. The fossil fuel empire, built over centuries, would tremble overnight. Oil-rich nations could lose their wealth and influence. Utility companies could see their business models crumble. Entire financial markets, tied to energy stocks, could collapse. This isn't just technology. It's disruption on a planetary scale. And whenever something this big threatens a balance of power, history tells us one thing. Resistance will be fierce. Already, rumors swirl of suppression attempts. Researchers claim their labs were mysteriously shut down. Inventors have whispered about patents that vanish, or prototypes destroyed under suspicious circumstances. It sounds like conspiracy, but when the stakes are this high, the line between fact and fiction begins to blur. Could Maxwell's free energy face the same fate? Or has the world finally reached a tipping point where such knowledge can't be hidden anymore? The confirmation of Maxwell's free energy spreads like wildfire. At first, the news is dismissed as fringe science. But then undeniable demonstrations appear online. Small devices powering homes, vehicles running endlessly, and villages lighting up with no connection to the grid. The public can't ignore it anymore. Hope ignites. Protests erupt, demanding governments adopt the technology. Communities tired of high fuel costs begin building their own free energy devices. Social media becomes a battleground. One side calling it the future, the other claiming it's a dangerous hoax. But underneath the chaos, one truth emerges. People have seen what's possible, and there's no going back. World powers are thrown into a new kind of arms race. Oil-dependent economies face collapse, their wealth evaporating overnight. Energy-importing nations suddenly see a future free from foreign control. Developing countries, once left behind, find themselves with the opportunity to leap ahead, skipping centuries of industrial dependency. The old world order begins to fracture. New alliances form, not around oil pipelines, but around knowledge, patents, and control of free energy technology. It's no longer about who controls the most resources underground, but who can harness the invisible energy all around us. Tech giants look for ways to integrate free energy into servers, phones, and AI systems. Utility companies, desperate to stay relevant, propose new models, charging for infrastructure, not electricity. But in back rooms and shadowy board meetings, a darker conversation unfolds. Should this technology even be allowed to spread freely? Because for some, free energy represents not liberation, but the death of profit itself. As demonstrations of free energy devices grow, powerful interests begin to strike back. Suddenly, videos vanish from platforms. Independent inventors report break-ins, missing prototypes, and mysterious technical failures. Major media outlets dismiss the breakthrough as pseudoscience, even as grassroots communities prove otherwise in real time. Leaked documents reveal a coordinated effort. Energy lobbies, political elites, and global financial institutions moving to contain the revolution before it destabilizes their power. It's a strategy as old as history. Control the narrative, discredit the innovators, and buy time. But this time, something is different. For the first time in history, the internet makes suppression nearly impossible. Encrypted networks, decentralized forums, and open-source engineering groups spread free energy blueprints across the globe. What once could be silenced in a single lab now multiplies in thousands of garages, workshops, and universities. Ordinary people become the new innovators. Farmers in Africa build generators to run irrigation systems. Families in Asia power entire homes. Hackers in Europe create communities dedicated to perfecting the designs. And with every successful replication, the movement grows stronger, louder, and impossible to ignore. Embrace the revolution and risk collapsing existing industries overnight. Fight it tooth and nail, criminalizing devices and prosecuting those who build them. Some governments gamble on the future, launching public projects to adopt free energy. Others double down on suppression, labeling it a threat to national security. This global split sets the stage for a confrontation unlike any before, an ideological war over who owns the right to energy itself. And as the divide grows, the world moves closer to a tipping point, where one spark could either ignite a golden age or a global conflict. In one dramatic moment, a group of engineers live streams a working free energy generator powering an entire neighborhood. The stream spreads faster than sensors can block it, mirrored across thousands of channels, translated into dozens of languages, downloaded and re-uploaded everywhere. The world sees it. The world believes it. And just like that, the wall of doubt and denial begins to crumble. Markets panic. Oil prices plummet overnight. Utility stocks nosedive. But at the same time, global excitement surges. People demand access, and innovators race to make the designs cheaper, smaller, and more efficient. Suppression has failed. The revolution has gone public. The fallout is immediate and unstoppable. In the Middle East, oil-dependent economies see riots as governments struggle to hold on to collapsing wealth. In the West, energy giants desperately lobby for new regulations, arguing that free energy is dangerous without oversight. In Africa, South America, and Asia, villages once left in the dark leapfrog straight into a post-grid future, skipping the industrial path entirely. The old world order, carefully balanced on oil and electricity, begins to unravel in months instead of decades. But with collapse comes opportunity. From the ashes of the old system, new powers rise. Tech companies pivot to mass-producing free energy devices. Communities form local energy cooperatives, sharing power freely without bills or meters. Remote regions, once ignored by globalization, become hubs of innovation as energy poverty vanishes. Meanwhile, governments that embrace the change early surge ahead, creating a new global hierarchy not built on fossil fuels, but on innovation, adaptability, and vision. The balance of power is shifting before our eyes. The shift isn't peaceful. As free energy devices spread, the industries of the past fight for survival. In some cities, utility companies shut off entire grids to pressure people back into dependence. In others, governments ban unlicensed generators, sending police to confiscate devices from homes and workshops. But instead of breaking the movement, these crackdowns fuel it. Massive protests erupt, millions filling streets, chanting for liberation from energy slavery. Clashes with authorities grow violent, and suddenly, the fight for free energy isn't just about science, it's about freedom itself. With open resistance rising, the movement goes underground. Hidden workshops pop up in abandoned warehouses. 3D, printed parts for free energy devices, are smuggled across borders. Online collectives share encrypted blueprints, evolving the technology faster than any corporation or government can keep up. The underground becomes a parallel world, one of innovation, defiance, and raw survival. And while authorities chase shadows, ordinary citizens quietly install generators in basements, schools, and community centers. The revolution spreads invisibly, like a fire beneath the floorboards. The old guard, nations and corporations clinging to fossil fuels, enforcing bans, and waging legal, digital, and sometimes military wars to stop the spread. The new order, communities and vendors and progressive governments embracing free energy, transforming cities into glowing examples of what the future could be. The fracture isn't just political, it's cultural, even spiritual. People begin to see free energy as more than technology. To many, it's a symbol of human liberation, proof that the chains of scarcity can finally be broken. And once an idea becomes a belief, no power on earth can stop it. In one defining wave, millions of households switch to free energy devices. Power grids fail as people abandon them. Oil tankers sit idle in ports. Coal plants shut down, never to restart. The old guard throws everything they can at the uprising. Propaganda, sanctions, even covert sabotage. But the tide is too strong. The truth is out, and the people will not go back. Cities are cleaner than ever. Skylines glitter with light powered by the very fabric of space. Transportation is limitless. Cars, planes, even ships move endlessly without fuel. Energy poverty is gone. No family is left in the dark. No child studies by candlelight. Remote villages thrive, industries bloom, and humanity as a whole takes a collective step into a future once thought impossible. And with energy no longer scarce, the very fabric of civilization shifts. Wars over oil vanish. Economies no longer bleed from fuel dependency. Innovation explodes. AI, space travel, medicine, all accelerated by a world that finally has the power to dream without limits. James Clerk Maxwell could never have known the full weight of his discovery, but his equations, his vision, have rewritten the destiny of humanity. What once seemed impossible has become inevitable. What once was suppressed has become unstoppable. What once was theory has become the foundation of a new world. The era of scarcity is over. The age of abundance has begun. So here we stand at the dawn of a civilization powered not by greed, but by possibility. Maxwell's free energy has given humanity the greatest gift of all, freedom. But the question remains, what will we do with it? Because in the end, technology alone doesn't shape our future. We do.